I'm Wes Hamrick. I'm a postdoctoral researcher on the Recirc project. My research looks at women's writing in the Irish language. The vast majority of this material is poetry. However, we have identified 2 letters by women in the Irish language. This contrasts with the Anglophone tradition, where we have hundreds and hundreds of letters written by women in English in the early modern period. In terms of circulation and reception, the material that I'm looking at, none of it was printed during the early modern period. Instead, it circulated through manuscript or through oral recitation. For that reason, we know less about the circulation and reception of Irish language writing by women in this period than we do about Anglophone writing. However, by looking at this material, we gain important insight into the role of oral recitation, that is memory, in the circulation and the preservation of this material. We have poems that were composed in the early modern period, but they weren't written down until the very end of the 19th century. For those of us who are literary scholars, who are used to looking at literary texts, I think we're struck by the instability of these texts, the amount of variation between different versions of the same poem. But what's really remarkable, actually, is that in a lot of cases, these poems, they may have been recorded at one point and then recorded again 100 years later, and they'll contain many of the exact same lines, the exact same order, and it's all because someone committed this poem to memory and passed it on.